Hello everyone. Welcome back to God's Word Daily Channel. Today, I invite you to listen to Story 7, The Tower of Babel. First, please share, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone. After the Great Flood and the renewal of the earth, humanity began to multiply and spread across the lands. People settled in fertile valleys, built villages, and discovered new ways to work together. Life was flourishing, and the world, though still young after the flood, began to show the signs of human creativity and ambition. Among the most remarkable achievements were the growing cities, centers of trade, learning, and communal life. But with unity and growth came pride and ambition. In the land of Shinar, a vast plain filled with rich soil and endless possibilities, the descendants of Noah gathered. They spoke a single language, shared a common purpose, and dreamed of building something extraordinary, a city that would reach the heavens. They envisioned a tower so tall that it would pierce the sky, a monument to their greatness and ingenuity. At first, the work was simple. Bricks were made from clay, and mortar bound them together. Men and women labored side by side, their hearts filled with pride and excitement. Children watched in awe, carrying small stones and imitating the movements of their elders. The city began to rise, block by block, growing taller and taller, each level a testament to human effort and collaboration. Their leader, Nimrod, ambitious and charismatic, spoke to the people. "See what we can achieve together. If we build this tower, no force on earth can surpass us. We will make our name remembered forever." The people cheered, inspired by the vision of glory and permanence. Yet, in the background, a subtle shadow hovered. While their hearts were united in purpose, their minds were clouded with pride. They sought to elevate themselves above the natural order, to reach the heavens not in faith but in self-exaltation. Their ambition, though impressive, carried a dangerous arrogance. From the heavens, God observed the growing city and the tower piercing the sky. The unity of mankind, though admirable in some ways, had begun to drift toward defiance. The desire for fame and power, for a monument to human pride rather than to divine glory, stirred God's concern. It was not the act of building that was wrong, but the heart behind it, the focus on self rather than on God. And so, God decided to intervene. The people, absorbed in their work, unaware of the divine gaze, continued to build, each brick a symbol of their ambition, each layer a step further from humility. The tower rose higher than any structure before, a beacon of human ingenuity and daring, yet also a monument to potential downfall. God's voice, gentle yet resolute, echoed across the plain. "Behold, they are one people, with one language, and all they plan is set in their hearts. If they continue, there will be no limit to what they may attempt, and pride will blind them to wisdom." A great decision was made, a moment that would alter the course of human history. The unity of language would be disrupted, and the people would scatter across the earth. The work of the tower would be left unfinished, a reminder of both human ambition and the need for humility. The tower rose higher each day, its bricks glistening in the sunlight, reaching toward the clouds like a bridge between earth and heaven. The people labored tirelessly, chanting and singing, their voices in perfect harmony. Children ran between columns of bricks, carrying mortar and stones, their laughter mingling with the hum of construction. It was a city alive with ambition, hope, and the shared dream of glory. But as the tower climbed, so too did the pride of the builders. They spoke often of their own greatness, of how the world would remember their names. "We are the makers of the heavens," they declared, their eyes fixed on the distant clouds. Their words, though confident, carried the weight of hubris, a subtle defiance toward the Creator who had given them life and the fertile land to build upon. God looked upon the people with a mix of sorrow and resolve. Their unity, once a beautiful testament to cooperation, had become an instrument of arrogance. Their language, once a bond that allowed understanding and harmony, had become a weapon of pride. They believed themselves capable of challenging the natural order, of constructing a monument that rivaled the heavens themselves. And then, in a moment both sudden and profound, God acted. He reached into the fabric of human communication, and the once shared language splintered into many tongues. Words that had once conveyed cooperation now sowed confusion. Directions became misunderstood, instructions misheard, builders argued over measurements, bricks were misplaced, and once fluid teamwork dissolved into frustration. What had been a single, unstoppable force became a cacophony of voices, each group speaking a language the others could not understand. Chaos spread quickly. The people, bewildered and frustrated, could no longer coordinate their efforts. The towering structure, magnificent but incomplete, stood as a testament to what ambition could achieve, yet also to what pride could destroy. Communities fragmented, scattering across the plains and beyond. Each group carried with them their unique language, their distinct culture, and their shared memory of a dream that had once united them. From the sky, God observed the scattering of humanity. The lesson was clear. Unity is powerful when guided by humility. But pride, when unchecked, leads to division. The unfinished tower became a silent monument, a reminder of human ambition tempered by divine wisdom. It was a lesson etched into the very land, a story to be told for generations, of striving, of creation, and of the consequences of elevating oneself above the Creator. Though the people were scattered, life continued. They carried knowledge, culture, and hope to every corner of the earth. The languages multiplied, creating diversity, yet the dream of reaching beyond human limitations remained, tempered by the memory of God's guidance. The Tower of Babel stood as both an inspiration and a caution, an enduring lesson that greatness must be paired with humility, and unity with reverence for divine authority. The story of the Tower of Babel teaches timeless lessons about pride, unity, and humility. At its heart, it is a cautionary tale about the dangers of placing human ambition above the wisdom of God. The people of Babel were gifted with unity, creativity, and intelligence, tools meant to build, collaborate, and sustain life, yet they allowed pride to overshadow purpose. In their desire to make a name for themselves and reach the heavens, they lost sight of humility, and their efforts were scattered. One essential lesson is the importance of humility in all human endeavors. The builders of Babel possessed remarkable skills, yet their arrogance clouded judgment. They believed they could rival God's power, failing to recognize that true greatness comes from aligning human effort with divine guidance. Humility ensures that achievements honor not only oneself but also the higher principles that sustain life, community, and morality. Another key lesson is the value and limits of unity. Unity can achieve extraordinary results, as seen in the progress of the tower before confusion struck. However, unity without humility or moral grounding can become dangerous. The Tower of Babel demonstrates that collaboration must be guided by wisdom, ethical purpose, and respect for the natural and divine order. Cooperation without these qualities can lead to hubris, conflict, and eventual division. The story also teaches the importance of communication and understanding. Language in Babel was initially a bond, allowing shared vision and harmony. Once God scattered their language, the builders could no longer understand one another, and their unity dissolved. This reminds us that communication is not only practical but foundational for trust, empathy, and collaboration. Misunderstandings, when left unchecked, can lead to confusion, conflict, and the breakdown of relationships and communities. Finally, the Tower of Babel encourages reflection on the balance between ambition and responsibility. Human creativity and desire to achieve are gifts, but they must be tempered with respect, humility, and an awareness of limitations. Ambition alone, untempered by moral insight or reverence, can bring chaos instead of progress. By contrast, ambition aligned with ethical and spiritual principles can build lasting, meaningful contributions to society and life. In essence, the story of Babel is a lesson about pride, purpose, and the human spirit. It reminds every generation that greatness is not measured by how high we climb, but by how wisely and humbly we walk our path. By respecting limits, nurturing understanding, and seeking guidance beyond ourselves, humanity can achieve true progress, one that honors both human potential and divine order. Next video, I invite you to listen to Story 8, The Call of Abraham. Please share, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone.
Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel to watch the next video.